Okay, so what is multitasking? If we have multiple tasks and that task we are executing at the same time, that is only called as the multitasking. What is the use of multitasking? It will increase the performance of the CPU. Multitasking have two types. First is the process based multitasking and another one is the thread based multitasking. Process based multitasking we can call this as a multi-processing, and thread based multitasking we can say that it is a multi-threading. Okay, so what is meant by multi-processing? If we connect multiple processor to the single system, that is called as the multi-processing, and it is best suitable at the system level or the operating system level. So that's why we are not using multi-processing concept in our Java, because it is suitable at the system or the operating system level. We are using only the multi-threading concept inside our Java because it is best suitable at the programming level. And what is meant by multi-threading? If multiple threads execute at the same time, that is only known as the multi-threading. Okay, and thread I explained yesterday. We took the example of the VLC. Inside the VLC, suppose this is a big process. Inside one, we have a small processes is there, like video, music, progress bar, and timing. So this video, this music, this progress bar, and this timing, these all are the small tasks, or we can say that these are the threads. So what is the definition of the thread? Thread is a subtask. Thread is a subpart, or thread is a small task of the process only. We can say that, right? So you see here, executing multiple thread, that is sub process. We can say that small task also. So we can say that, or this subpart also. We can say that when we execute this all the things at the same time, that is only known as the multi-threading. Today we will see how to create a thread. So we have two ways to create a thread. First one with the help of thread class, and another one with the runnable interface. Both are the predefined. What is meant by predefined? Already defined. Who written this class and interface? Java people, right? Java people wrote for us. Just we need to use them. Okay. So how to create a thread with the help of thread class, and how to create a thread with the help of runnable interface. Yesterday we have created one program. This program we have created with the help of oops concept. But what is the problem we are facing here? If I run this one, so for 3 hours it is playing video first. After that it is playing audio for 3 hours, and after that it is playing 3 hours progress bar. But what we want to execute this all the task at the same time, right? We knows that till now, like if we play this video, means if we execute this method, after completion of this method will start. After completion of this method will start. But now we don't want like that. We want to execute this all the methods at the same time. So that's why what we are using, that is the threading concept. Threads are the lightweight, and these are the so fast. Okay, and all the threads are executed at the same times. Okay, and remember one thing, we cannot we cannot consider, or we cannot what we say that okay, so we cannot consider the execution of the thread, which thread will be executed first, which thread will be executed last, right? All the threads are executed at the same time, so we cannot assume that which thread will be executed first, which thread will be executed last. All the threads will be executed at the same time. Sometimes second thread will be executed first, sometimes first thread will be executed first. We can't assume that things. Okay, so now we will see how to create a thread. Simple way is that is the thread and the runnable. So first we will see with the help of thread class. So if you want to create a thread with the help of thread class, we need to follow these 4 steps only. First step is that we have to extend the thread class. This is the predefined class, and inside the thread class we have many methods and many constructors also. So these are all the constructors which are present inside the thread class. These are all the methods which are present inside the thread class. These are all the methods, and these all are the methods. This is the these all are the object class methods. These are all are the thread class method. These are also, and these are all the constructor inside the thread class. Okay, so how to create a thread? First we need to extend that. Means if we extend the thread class, whatever methods or whatever constructor present here, that all will become into the our child class, right? So first we need to extend the thread class. After that we have to override the which method? Run method. One of the method is present here, that is the run method. The run method is present inside our thread class. We need to override that run method here into our child class. Then create an object of the class. Okay, simple. We need to create an object of the class, and after that we have to start the thread using the start method. So we'll follow that step only. Simple, we will come here and we will try to create a thread. Simple, I will remove this step, or we can create here. Okay, so how to create that? First we need to create a thread. So how to create a thread? First we will create a one class here. Okay, demo. You can convert this class into a thread also, but I am creating a new class here. Okay, here. Otherwise we will try to defined in this class only. It is easy to understand. How to create a thread? Just follow these steps. First step is that extends thread class. So I will extend thread class here. Now, if you want to see the methods and the constructor of this thread class, what we need to do? Simple select that one, right click on that, and after that open declaration. All the things, if you want to see that, all the things are present here only. Notice one thing here, public class thread, and it is implementing the runnable interface. If you want to show, if you want to see what are the things present inside the runnable interface, just open it. What are the things present inside the runnable interface? Only one method is present inside the runnable interface, that is the run method. So where run method is present? Inside the runnable interface. And as you know that this is the abstract method. And if you want to provide the body of this abstract method, what we need to do? We have to implement this interface somewhere. So thread class already implement the runnable interface here. So it means thread class already provided the body of that run method also here. So if you search here with the run method, see, so this is the run method, and here see what is the thing, that is the override. This method is overridden from where? From this runnable interface here. Okay, so run method, which where run method is present? Inside the runnable interface. Runnable interface only one, runnable interface only have one method, that is the run method. Okay, and all the methods are present inside the thread class only. If you want to start the thread, or if you want to get the name or set the name of any thread, we have all the methods are present inside the thread class only. Runnable interface have only one method, that is the run method. Okay, okay. Now we will come here. Simple, we followed first step, we have to extend the thread. After that, what we need to do? We have to override the run method. So I will override the run method here. Public we need to write public void, public void, and here we need to write run. Okay, okay, public void and the run. And here what we need to write inside the run method? Okay, what we need to write? The run method. If you are creating this run method, so what we need to write here? So here we need to write a thread task. If you want to perform any task to the thread, you can write the task here only inside the run method. Inside the run method, we will write only the thread task. Okay, this is the next step. Another step is that create an object of the class. So where we will create an object? Main method we will create first, right? Inside the main method, we will create an object, new test. And inside the test, we will simply create an object. So this is our object, and with the help of that object, last step is that, see, start the thread using the start method. So here, if I write here start method, so now what will be the output? Suppose if I writing here thread task, suppose I want to perform system.out, and here I am writing thread. So what will be the output? We will get it now. Thread. Why? We are calling start method no here. Why? What will be the output? We will get it here. Yes. We'll see. Inside the thread class, I think start method is present, right? Start method. Here is start method. Here is the start method. And if you notice here, see the start method. This is the start method where it is present inside the thread class only, right? Inside the thread class only we have this. Inside the thread class only we have this start method. And why we are using the start method? To start a thread. And how to start a thread? So simply we have to use the start method. It will internally call our run method. Okay, it will call here. Okay, whenever you write object.start, so it will be go here. It will be called this thread class start method, and from this start method it will internally call this run method. And if I run this one now, so simply we will get it thread on the console. So how execution will go on? So simply it will become here JVM. After that it will be see we have created the object, and we have extend the threads here also. So what it will be do? It will create a thread here. Okay. After that object.start means here we are using the start method. So what it will do? It will call the start method that is present inside the thread class. So here is the start method. It will call the start method, and from the start method it will internally call our run method. This is the run method we will call. Inside the run method, what we wrote here, that is system.out.println and the thread. So it will print thread on the console. This is the simple way to create a thread. Anyone have any doubt? Anyone have any doubt how to create a thread?
But inside the stack, there are so many professionals that you told everything.
Where? Here. There only the condition they wrote. See, if else. These are the all the things are internally they have wrote. The try, catch, block, boolean and all. Okay. So from the start method only internally it will call our run method. This is the run method it will be called. Okay. So which class object is this? See, which class object is this? Test class object. So according to this, it will recognize that this is the our this run method we have to call. Okay. Okay. So anyone have any doubt how to create a thread with the help of thread class? So which are the five? Which are the four steps? First step is that which is the first step? We have to extend the thread class. After that, we have to override the run method. Another one, we have to create an object. And after that, we have to start the thread using the start method. Okay, so these are the four steps to create a thread. If you follow these steps, the thread will be created. But where thread is creating? Okay, important thing is that where thread is creating. So if we create an object, that time our thread will be created. So here our thread is creating. So I will write here creating thread. Okay, now we'll see the life cycle, how our life cycle of thread will be going on. Right, everyone have the life cycle, like human also have life cycle, right? So thread also have some life cycle. So how? So it will become here. First step is that is create, burn and the new thread. It have 5 stages, like create, burn, new thread. This is the first stage. Then runnable, running, dead and sleep, waiting, suspend and etc. Multiple stages are here. Okay, this is the non-runnable state. This is the create and burn a new thread. This is the runnable state, the running state and the dead state. Okay, so what will happen inside this create, burn and the new thread? So here our thread will be created. Okay, here our thread will be created, and when our thread will be created, see here, which is the point here, 3. So we will go here. When we will create an object, then our thread will be created. See, inside this one means inside this point our thread is creating. Okay, in this one our thread is creating. Okay, after that, here next is the fourth step. So when we start our thread with the help of start method, then our thread will become from create, burn, new thread to the runnable state. And inside the runnable state, our thread is ready for the execution. Here our thread will not execute. Okay, remember one thing, here our thread will not executing. Here our thread is ready for the execution. And when our thread will be execute, when JVM will allocate the processor to our thread, it will wait for the JVM to allocate the processor. When JVM will allocate the processor to the thread, that time our thread will become from runnable to the running state. Inside the running phase, our thread is start executing. Okay, and after thread task is completed, the thread will become from running state to the dead state. Now our thread is dead. Can it will be alive again into the create or burn or new thread? Suppose a man is dead. Can it will be alive again? Can it will be alive again? No, right? It will be not alive again. So if thread will be dead once, it will not alive again. Okay, if thread is dead, it will not alive again. Suppose if you take the example, see, suppose here a man is born. After that, he is ready for the job. He's struggling for the job. He is studying and all. After that, he's got the job. He is doing the job. After his motive is complete, he earn lots of money and all. He live here his life and he's went to the dead state. Okay. Suppose which is the state now? That is the non-runnable state. Suppose he is studying for the job. He got the job. Then he removed from the job. The company removed that man from the job. So what it will do? It went to the non-runnable state. Then again he will be study and he will be get the job and he will start the study again. Right. After motive is completed, he will come into the dead state. So this like our thread also work. So our thread will be create and burn. In which step our thread will be create and burn? Inside the 3 step. That is the when we will create an object, that time our thread will be come into the create, burn or the new thread. Okay. When we apply start method on our thread, that time our thread will become from create or burn or new thread to the runnable thread. Here our thread is not executing. Okay, here our thread is not executing here. When our thread start executing, when JVM will allocate the processor to the thread. When JVM will allocate the processor to the thread, that time our thread will become from runnable to the running state, and here our thread is start executing. Okay. After when thread task is completed, thread will become from running state to the dead state. Okay, and when it will come into the non-runnable state, when thread is running and suddenly someone applies sleep method or waiting method or the suspend method on the thread, it will become from runnable to the runnable state, and from the runnable state again it will come into the running state. But when the JVM will allocate the processor, remember one thing, when our thread will be execute, where it will be execute, when thread have the processor, when thread have the processor only, that time only our thread will be start execution, otherwise it will not start the execution. So from the runnable to the running, when it will be go, when JVM will allocate the processor only, that time it will come from the runnable to the running. And here our thread is in the execution state, here is our thread is not executing, here our thread is ready for the execution. Okay, so this is the life cycle of the thread. Anyone have any doubt?
If you use sleep and waiting, again it start from
It will come again to the runnable state, then it will again wait for the processor, again it will be wait for the JVM to allocate the processor. When JVM will allocate the processor to the thread, then again it will come from runnable to the running.
then I mean it will start asking you to
It will not come into, it will not burn again, it will not create again, it will directly come into the runnable. Here it will be wait for the JVM to allocate the processor. When JVM will allocate the processor again to that thread, it will again come into the running state.
sleep.
It will come when thread task is completed, it will come into the dead state. So, so many types of method we have, that is sleep method, waiting method and all. If you are applying that method, then again it will come into the non-runnable state. So what is this step means? Here we will apply a particular amount of time. If that amount of time is over, it will come from out from this state, and it will come again to the runnable state. Okay, we will see that sleep method and all. Okay, that time you will be easily understand. For now, remember just think, inside the runnable interface, our thread will be in the ready state. It is not executing here. It will be waiting for the JVM to allocate the processor. When JVM allocate the processor to the thread, then thread will become from runnable to the running. And after that, it will be start executing the task. If task is completed, it will come from the dead state. When thread will go into the dead state, when task is completed. When thread task is done, then only it will come from running state to the dead state. Okay, and when it will come into the non-runnable state, if you apply sleep method, wait method, or any method, if you apply on the thread, it will come from running to the non-runnable state. It will wait for the particular amount of time, then it will come into the runnable state, and it will again come into the running and in dead state. Okay. Yes, inside the run method, we are only doing the thread task.
Create only with the name as
Yes, yes. We have to create always as a run. This override, no, we have overridden this method from this thread class. That's why I wrote here, no. See, override the run method. We have to override the run method. Okay. Suppose now another question. Suppose I am writing here only the run now. So can will be, it will be execute this time. What will be the output? We will get it now.
this.
Error. Thread we will get. No. Yes, what we will get? Anything? Error? Error. Mohan is saying error. Okay. Anyone? We will get the thread and all. Yes, no, thread we will get, no? Yes, thread we will get, yes. So thread we will get definitely. Why? If we are calling object.run method, okay, we are calling object.run method, it will come here into the run method, and here it will get thread on the console. But what is the difference between the run method? If you call here from here run method, if you are calling run start method, so what is the difference between the two things? If we call this run method with the help of start method, so that time our thread will be start execute. Our thread will be create, and our thread will be start the execution. But now if we call it is executing, it will consider this run method as a normal method. Where whatever method we saw inside our oops concept now, it will consider this method as a, there is a basic method, like it is a consider this run method as a run method only, like a normal method. But if you write here start means this time our thread is creating and our thread is executing this task. Okay, so this is the difference between the start method and the run method. Okay. Okay, so this type we can create a thread with the help of thread class. And now we saw the life cycle also. Now I will tell you how to create a thread with the help of runnable interface. So here we have 5 methods. Which method? First we need to write a implements runnable interface. So we will come here, and what we need to write here? Implements runnable interface. Remember this thing, okay? Runnable is a interface. Runnable is a interface and thread is a class. There are two ways to create a thread. First one is that with the help of thread class, and another one is that with the help of runnable interface. And inside the runnable interface, how much methods are present? Only one method. Which method is present inside the runnable interface? Only run method. So we will come here and we will just override that method. So we have overridden the method already, right? There is thread method we have overridden. So I will write here runnable. Okay. Now what we will do? Simple here. We have overridden the run method. We have implemented the runnable interface. We have overridden the run method. Now another thing is that we have to create an object of the class. Simple. We have created the object of the class as well. Right. Now another thing. Create an object of the thread class and pass the parameter in the constructor thread class. So what it is saying? Simple. We have to create an object of the thread class also. Thread. Then th I am writing here. New thread. This is the predefined class. We already knows that, right? This is the predefined class. This class object I am creating. But why we are creating this class object? I will tell you. And after that, here we have to pass one parameter. So which parameter we have to pass? This parameter. We have to pass this object. We have to pass here. Okay. This object we have to pass it here. And after that, with the help of this thread class object, we have to start the method. Okay. If I right click, if I run this one now, so runnable will be print on the console. Okay. So which is the best way? Runnable or the thread class? This one or this one?
Thread class.
Thread class or runnable? Here we have 4 steps and here we have a 5 steps. So which is the best way or which is the suitable way? If you want to use that, which is the best way?
Thread class.
Thread class.
Thread class. Okay. Suppose if you have a here class demo. Okay. Suppose we have a demo class here and I am creating a thread with the help of thread class only. So how to create a thread? We have to extend thread class. Now I have extended the thread here and now I want to extend this demo also. Can we able to extend that? Can I write like that, comma and the demo? No, right? But if I write here implements and after that here I am writing here like that extends. That is the class. So we have to extends and demo like that. So can we able to do that now? We are implementing the runnable interface also. We are extending the demo also. So which is the best way? Runnable interface. Okay. If you are using runnable interface, you are able to inherit the another class also. But if you are using the extends demo, means with extends a thread with the help of thread class you are creating, you are not able to inherit any class after that. Okay, just you are inheriting the thread class then. Okay, so which is the best way? That is the runnable interface is best way to create a thread. Okay, so now here what we did here, simple, we are creating the object here. Okay, so here our thread is created, right? We just now we saw the life cycle. So here our thread is creating. Why we have created here thread class object? Okay, why we have created here thread class object? Which method is used to start the thread? Which method is used to start the thread? Start method, right? Start method is used to start the thread, right? And here inside the runnable interface, if you notice that here we have any start method here. Any method is there with the name start? No, right? So start method where it is present inside our thread class. Inside the thread class we have a start method. So what we need to do that? We have to create an object of the thread class. But if we use the thread, if we start the thread class, see. Now if I remove this object from here. So now what will happen? Runnable will be print or not? Runnable will be print or not?
Yes.
Yes? Yes, it will be print. Mohan bro.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, it will print. It will not print, bro. Okay, why it is not printing? See what we are seeing here. Create an object of the thread class. Pass and parameter in the constructor of the thread class. So what it is saying is simple. If I write like that, thread class object we have created. After that, ts.start we are writing here. If we start this method, it will directly call this start method here. Okay, it will directly call this start method. That is the start method. It will be called here. But here, see which class object we are using here. Which class object we are using here to start the thread? That is the thread class only. So how to recognize that? Means how it will be called this run method. We have not provided any object there. We are not provided any target there. We have created just thread class object, and with the help of thread class, simply we are calling the start method only. So how it will be recognized which run method we have to call? So for that only, simple, the method in the class in which run method is present, that class object we have to right here. That is the object. Now, if I run this one now here, so runnable will print on the console. So how? Here we have created the thread class object, and here we are saying this object. So which class object is this? Thread class object. So we are saying to this thread class, like you have to call the start method, but you have to call the run method internally. Which class run method you have to call? That's the object. This object. Which object is this? That's the test class. Inside the test class, you have to come and you have to call this run method. We are saying that. Okay. And why we are calling this thread? Why we are creating the thread class here? Because if you want to start the thread, then start method is present inside the thread class. We don't have any method inside the runnable interface. We have only one method here inside the runnable, that is the run method only. And if you want to start the method, we want a start method. So that's why we are simply calling here, we are creating the thread class object here. Okay. Okay. Anyone have any doubt?
Is going
Yeah.
backward also. Is going backward. So th start it will come. Then again from th it is in object. So object is in
See, no. What did you say? So, th thread class object we have created. Suppose I will not provide any object here. So what it will be do? Which class object we have created? Thread class. And with the help of thread class object, simply we are calling the start method. So it will become here inside thread class, and it will call the start method. But now you don't know, no, which run method we have to call. You don't, right? You don't know which run method we have to call. So what we need to do for that? We have to pass one parameter. We have to tell that, no, to thread class, like we have to pass. We have to call the test class run method. So we have created already test class object here. So this object we will provide it here. So now this thread class, now what we need to do? We have to call the run method of this object. Which class object is this? This is test class object. Now it will be known that it will be start whenever it will start the method. It will come here, and after that it will say we have to call the run method. But which run method we have to call? This object's run method. Which class object is this? This is test class object. So it will call this run method here directly. Okay, I am telling in the backward direction because you have to know that. No? So, but it will be happen like that. Okay, so this is the two ways to create a thread. First one is the, yes, Nagmani, which are the two ways to create a thread? Yes.
Actually, I didn't understand anything.
Yes, so what are the two ways to create a thread? First one is the, it is easy, yeah. See, first one is the thread class, and another one is the runnable interface. If you want to create a thread class, if you want to create a thread with the help of thread class, these four steps we have to follow. First, we need to extend the thread class. After that, override the run method. After that, create an object, and after that, we have to start the thread using the start method. Another way we saw, that is the runnable interface. Inside the runnable interface, which method is present? As the run method. So if you want to create a thread with the help of runnable interface, what we will do? We will implement the runnable interface. After that, we have to override the run method, create an object of the class. After that, another step is there, that is the create an object of the thread class and pass the parameter in the constructor of the thread class. And after that, last one is the start the thread using the start method. So these are the two ways to create a thread, with the help of thread class and with the help of runnable interface. Okay. Now another thing is that here, see, we have multiple methods are present inside our thread class. First one is the basic methods, another the naming methods, another one is the daemon thread method, and another one is the priority based methods. These are the methods which are present inside the thread class. Now prevent thread execution also, we have a sleep method, yield method, join method. After that, interrupting a thread method also we have inside our thread class, like interrupt is interrupted and interrupted. Now we saw run method and the start method. Why we are using the run method? To not override. No. See here.
Thread task.
To write the thread task, we are using the run method. Why we are using the start method? To start a thread. Now what is meant by the current thread? What is meant by this is allowed. So current thread, see what is the return type of this? That is the thread. So it will return the instance of our current thread. Which thread is working there? It will return the instance of that thread. Now till now we don't know like if means how the program will be work. Till now we know that like when JVM will come here, JVM will execute this line, JVM will execute this line, JVM will execute this line. Now I will tell you, now we are learning the multi-threading concept. No? Now I will tell you how the JVM will be, how the program execution will be work. Simply will come to the paint here. Okay. Okay. These are program. So now we are learning the multi-threading concept here. No? So now just listen carefully here. So if we run the program, so what will happen? JVM will come in here into the main method. We knows that, right? After that, what JVM will do here is simply it will not execute one by one. It means JVM will not execute one by one. JVM will create one thread here like that. Okay, JVM will create one thread here, and that thread name is a main thread. Okay, JVM will create one thread here. That thread is a main thread, and that thread will be execute this all the things which are present inside our main thread. Like this thread, this line it will be executed, then this line, then this line. Who is executing? JVM will not execute that. Main thread. Okay, main thread will execute that all the things. What if we run the program? What will happen? JVM will come into the main method. It will create a thread. What is the name of this thread? That is the main thread, and that main thread will execute all things which are present here. Okay, so now if you want to show that, okay, if you have doubt on me, so I will show you thread is creating or not. Their thread will be created or not. Suppose if you have a here system.out, and here we have one exception, right? This will create an exception. If I run this one, run as and the Java application, exception in thread. See this thread, main thread, right? Exception in thread main means here what JVM is doing. JVM is coming here and JVM is creating one thread. That thread name is a main thread. If you want to know the name, or if you want to get the name of the thread, simple we have two methods for that. That is the get the name and the set name. Get name method and the set name method. If you want to get the name of that thread, what we need to do? Simple we have to use here the name that method like thread. Okay, inside where that method is present inside the thread class, right? First we need which thread is working here, right? I am telling you both the methods, right? There is a current thread method also, and I am telling you the get name method also. Okay, so if you want to know that which thread is working here, so for that simple we need to write thread dot current thread here. Okay, which method you have to use? Thread dot current thread. It will return the current instance of the thread, currently working thread. Okay, so which thread is working here? It will return the name of that thread and a priority of thread, and another thing is it will return. See which thread is working here? That is the main thread, and this is the priority of thread, and this is the name of that thread. That is the main thread. If you want to know that which thread is working there, simply you have to write that thread dot current thread. Okay, if you want to know that, if you want to return the current instance of the thread, simple you have to write thread dot current thread. It will return the instance of our current thread. Now suppose if you are creating a thread here, okay, so suppose we are creating a thread here. Which thread we have created? This thread we have created here, right? Now I want to know that which thread is working here inside the run method. Simple what I will do, thread dot current thread. It will return the instance of our current thread. If I run this one, thread 0, and which thread is executing that thread? There is the main thread. Okay, so how this program will be executed? So for that I will make it simple. I will simple write here extends thread. Okay, this thing also, and with the help of object I will run this one. Okay, that is in there extends thread on there. Yes. Oh, sorry. Curly braces. Okay. So thread class means with the help of thread class we are creating a thread here, right? So what we are doing here, what will happen here? Simple, I will copy this program also from here and will come into the page. So where is the page here? Okay, and now how this thread will be working, I will tell you. So as I told you, like whenever we will execute the program, so what will happen? JVM will come into the main method, and after that what it will be do?
It will see
Yes.
object.
Yes. So JVM will come into the main method, and after that JVM will not execute this all the things. JVM will create one thread here. That thread name is a main thread. So I will write here which thread is this one? Main thread. And this main thread will execute all the things which are present inside our main method. After that, see here, test object equals to new test. Here what is happening here? We are exchanging threads also here. So what is happening here? Here our new thread is creating. What is the name of that thread? See here. Here our new thread is creating. So who is creating that new thread? That main thread only. Main thread is executing this all the tasks. No, main thread only executing this all the tasks. So who will create this new thread? That is this main thread only. So what is this? What is the name of this thread is? If you are giving the name, that is also okay. But if you are not giving the name, means JVM will automatically give the by default name to this thread. That is the thread 0. If you create new thread, means it will give thread 1, then it will give thread 2, thread 3, like that. Okay, if you are giving the name, that is also okay. If you are not giving the name, so JVM will give by default name to this thread, that is the thread 0. Okay, here new thread is creating. Here who is creating this thread? That is the main thread only. Okay, so now object dot start. Why we are using the start method? To start the thread. So what this thread 0 will do? Thread 0 will come into our run method, and here it will be start the execution. So who is executing all the things here? Main thread or thread 0? Main thread. See here, object. Object means our thread 0. So object dot start we are writing here. Means who is executing this task? Thread 0, no? Thread 0. Main thread will be execute all the things which are present inside the main thread only. Okay, and now inside the run method, what we are doing? Object dot start here, right? Object dot start means here object means our thread 0, and here we are writing object dot start. We are starting our this thread. Okay, whenever we start our thread, it will execute this run method. No, see here which thread will be working here? That is the thread 0. Thread 0 is working here inside our run method. Okay, in our run method, thread 0 is executing whatever tasks which are inside the run method. Okay, so this type our thread will be executed. Now we saw that what is the current thread. What is the current thread will be what is the use of this current thread? It will return the current instance of the thread. Okay, it will return the current instance of the thread. So whenever if you write here thread dot current thread, it will return the thread 0. And if you write same line here, okay, if we write same line here only, so what it will be execute now? What is the result we will get? Main, because main thread is working here, and here which thread is working? That is the thread 0. Okay, thread 0 is working here inside the run method. See, now see here, if you want to change the name, or if you want to get the name, if you want to change the name, or if you want to get the name, so for that we are using the naming method, that is the get name or the set name method. So here what is the name of this thread? Here which thread is working here? Main thread. No, main thread is working here. So see, I will tell you, I will not write anything here, and I will remove this thing from here also. And if I want to get the name of our thread, so what we need to do? System.out we have to write, and after that we have to write here thread. Then we have to write here current thread. This current thread is working here. And if you want to get the name of the thread, for that we have one method, that is the get name method. So simple, I will write here get name method. Okay, if I write like that, so if I run this one, so we will return the name of our thread, that is the main thread. Now if I want to change the name from main to the another thing, so how we will change that? So for that we have another method, that is the set name method. So how we will write like that? We have to write here thread dot current thread dot set name, and here we need to write any name. So suppose I am writing here Mohan. Okay, now we will get the name of this thread again. Okay, now we will try to get the name of this thread again. See, if I run this one, main Mohan. Okay, now see, if I remove this one, and if you get any exception now, 100 divided by 0. Now see what will be the output we will get. Exception in thread. See, exception in thread Mohan. And why? Divided by 0. At basic program test.me. What you are doing there, bro? Okay. So here what we are doing, simply we are changing the name of the thread from main thread to the Mohan. Okay, so how to change the name of the thread? Which method we have to use? Set name method. Okay, and if you want to get the name of the thread, how? Get name method. Suppose we have created the thread here. Okay, now suppose I have created another thread here. How to create? Simple extend thread, then this task we have to do. Now what is the name of this thread? You want to know that. How we will do that? System.out we will write here, and here we need to write simple directly object dot get name. If I run this one, means which name we will get it here? No,
Zero.
thread 0, no, thread 0. Okay, now if I want to change the name of this thread, how we'll change that? Object dot, we know the thread, na, here. This time we know, don't need to write current thread and all. Okay, so set name. Okay, so I will write here. Okay, Babu. Okay, so after that, simply I will print this name again. Now if I want to get the name, so what we will write? Thread 0 and Bob. Okay, so we have a two threads here. That is the main thread as well as the thread 0. Which thread is working here
Main thread.
and which thread is working here? 0. What is the name of this thread? Thread 0. Now first we have a name, that is the thread 0, and after that we change the name from main thread 0 to Bob. If you are not giving the name to the thread, so by default JVM will give the name to that thread, that is the thread 0. If you create new thread, means thread 1 will be, it will give. Then if you create another new thread, thread 2 will be give. By default it will give the name. Okay, so this is the this is the use of that method, that is the run method, start current thread, is alive method. So what is meant by is alive? So it will be tell like it will, our thread is alive or not. How to use that method? System dot out we need to write, and here simply we need to write thread dot current thread dot is alive. If I write like that, if I run this one, so true or false it will print. If our thread is alive, it will print true. If our thread is not alive, that time it will print return false. Now we will check with our created thread. So which is our created thread here? This is our created thread. No, now we will check with this thread. So if I write, if I create a thread and after that if I write here system dot out, and here if I write like that object dot is alive. So now what it will print, true or false? True.
False.
This time Mohan is right. False. Okay. So why? Before starting the thread, if we are checking is alive, so that time it will return false. But if I writing like after start the thread, if I write like is alive, so what it will print? It will print true. Okay. Okay. So this is the why we are using is alive method. If you want to know that our thread is alive or not, simple, that time we are using is alive method. Okay, if our thread is alive, that time it will return true. If our thread is not alive, that time it will return false. Okay, so cannot is another method, is daemon, set daemon, get priority. Okay, tomorrow I will teach, just practice that how to create a thread. Okay, today's assignment is that you have to create a thread with the help of thread class, with the help of enable interface. And yesterday I told you the one program, that is the VLC program here. So we are facing the problem, first video is playing, after that audio is playing. What we need to do, simple, for video you have to create one thread, for audio you need to create a thread, for progress bar you need to create a thread, and you have to execute that all the thread here inside the VLC. Okay, try to do that. Okay, this is the assignment for today. Okay, that's it for today. We'll see.